Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake Up, Wake Up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up.
It's trippier.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, October 6th. You know what that means, right?
It means it's October.
That means it's almost Washashore Festival.
So exciting. Yeah, there's tons of really fun stuff going on this weekend for this upcoming Indigenous Peoples Day weekend. And I think the highlight of everyone's weekend is going to be Washashore Music Festival. There's so much fun stuff going on this Saturday and Sunday nights. We're going to be talking about that later. We have Joe coming in to talk about his set Sunday night. We might drag Andrew out from behind the computer to talk too.
Do you have time to do that?
Yay! Yes. They're doing a set together this Sunday at Town Hall. You also chatted with John Cameron Mitchell.
Oh, it's not often that you get to talk to a personal hero of yours, and
Yeah.
John Cameron Mitchell is one for me. We had a really fun time talking the other day, so we got a couple of minutes of that for you guys. He's going to be part of this festival all weekend, of course.
We also have Lisa and Rob coming in to talk about the Cape Cod School of Art's upcoming silent auction. We also have the Simple Sisters coming in to do a really incredible live performance for you. We also have KT and Kristen Becker coming in to talk about their live dating game show.
Huge show, you guys. We got to get a move on.
Yeah, did we say everyone?
I think
we
so,
did?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get to it. How was your week?
My week was, it wasn't really fun. I worked a lot. A couple of
you worked a lot.
Yeah, a couple of our coworkers are out of town, so I covered for them, and another one of our bartenders hurt themselves. So it's been a week of everyone picking up shifts at the Red Inn.
I've been there 7 days this week.
Woo! Fun.
I hope Johnny had fun on his cruise that we all covered shifts for.
Yeah, and Paul Benson, who bartends with us and also writes for The Independent, was in D.C. this week.
What was he in D.C. for?
Chilling.
Just chilling? It wasn't like a newspaper award conference or something like that?
I don't think it was.
Oh, and Tommy, our coworker who fell off his bike and fractured a rib and has been out of work for 3 weeks, is back.
He worked last night.
How'd
it go?
He said it went beautifully.
Oh, good. That's
Which means
great.
he'll be there today, presumably.
Yeah.
Yay.
Do you get up to anything else this week, or did you just work?
Just working.
Really?
Had, made dinner for some friends on Wednesday night, but, other than that, nose to the grindstone. We're down to our last 3 weeks of work. And so,
Yeah, it's almost over.
Rolling
for a
it
while.
out.
Yeah. The one thing I did get up to this week that was super exciting, I did catch the last night of Sharts Creek, which was so amazing. It was a fully sold out show, packed house. It was great. All their sponsors were in the front. It was really cute. What a great show. And I saw it with my friend Todd, and he had the same realization that I do, is we're halfway through the show, you realize, wow, there's only 4 actors in this show. But the way that they present it, you kind of forget that it's only 4 people doing all of these roles. It was so fun. I think they're headed down to Fort Lauderdale next for Sharts Creek. If you're down in Fort Lauderdale, definitely check it out. Or if you get a chance to see it anywhere this winter, I'm sure they're going to tour it around.
Last year they took it to Puerto Vallarta for a nice long run.
Yeah.
And Jamie announced his parody play for next year.
I saw it. What was it?
The Devil Wears Payless.
I love that.
Which I can't wait to see.
That's exciting. So is Sharts Creek, they did it for 2 years, and now it's going to be The Devil Wears Payless? That's exciting.
I know, and I mean, if you saw Jamie doing Catherine O'Hara in Sharts Creek, I can't wait to see him do Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada.
I hope Eric Mall is Andy.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, one can only assume.
Yeah, but congratulations to the whole cast. Eric Mall, Sam, Jonathan Joseph Peters. Really, really incredible.
What do you got for news stories? What's going on in the world?
News already?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I have to say something really quickly. You have a story about Diane Feinstein, right? So last week when we announced on air that she had recently passed away, we found out about that 5 minutes before we went live.
Not even. It was as we were going live.
Yeah, we literally were like, oh my God, it's time to do this. Diane Feinstein just died. And so we were kind of ill prepared to talk about it.
Yeah.
If it seemed like we were being insensitive, that was not our intent.
Yeah.
I think somebody was like, you guys are laughing about this. I don't remember laughing about it, but...
Yeah, we found out like literally as the show was going live, and someone commented on last week's episode and was like, "Wow, 10 minutes to talk about martinis and barely a mention of Diane Feinstein." And he commented on it the next day, and I think he didn't realize that the show was filmed when it was.
Yeah, it's not. It's yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching this show on Wednesday, it's not happening live.
Yeah.
It's happening live right now on Friday morning. Anytime after this, it's not live anymore.
Yeah.
What about now?
But also, we always have 10 minutes to talk about martinis.
Yeah, it's our life.
Yeah.
Our livelihood. But like we said, Diane Feinstein did pass away this past Friday. It did go live while we were airing last Friday. She was 90 years old. I have a little, she began her career on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors in 1969. She quickly became president of that, and in 1978, that board passed the most far-reaching gay rights ordinance in the nation. She found Harvey Milk's body and announced it to the public, which kind of thrust her into the public zeitgeist. She referred to that day as the darkest day of her life. She then served as the San Francisco mayor in 1979 and was reelected in a landslide in 1983. She's kind of known as one of the first politicians in the country, and specifically San Francisco, to court the queer vote, like to really go after, ask the LGBTQ community in San Francisco what they need, what they want, and try to get their votes. As mayor, she did veto an ordinance that would allow same-sex couples to register domestic partnerships that would extend spousal benefits. And in 1984, she ordered the city bathhouses be closed as a means to combat the spread of HIV. She also opposed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell in favor of a full lift of bans of a ban of gays serving in the military. And in 1996, she was one of only 14 senators to vote against the Defense of Marriage Act. So I feel like what she represents is someone who worked through the queer rights movement, helped progress it forward, and you can see where like the stumbles in the queer rights movement happened. She did criticize in 2004, she opposed gay marriage in favor of civil unions, blaming the discussion of the topic of gay marriage for John Kerry's loss in 2004, saying that the issue was too much, too soon, and too fast. So she kind of has like, in retrospect, like in the position we all are now, it's easy to look back at someone like this and be like, oh, they weren't perfect, but throughout the queer rights movement, like you couldn't expect perfection. You just had to expect progress and movement forward. And she, more so than almost anyone, has been at the forefront of moving the queer rights movement forward from a political perspective. So thank you so much for your work.
And also, since the writer's strike ended last week, Bill Maher was able to resume his show Friday night. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite jokes from his monologue that night, he was like, Senator Diane Feinstein, listen, whatever you want to say about her, she spent over 55 years in public service and never once got caught jerking somebody off in a musical.
That is true.
Take that, Lauren Boebert.
Her last days in office did bring up a lot of questions about being fit for office.
90's old to do anything.
Yeah.
Except sleep.
Yeah, it did put a lot of thought into the idea of, it's been a lot of talk about like retirement ages and term limits, because we do have a contingent of like senators and congresspeople that are reaching an advanced age. And in her final days in office, there was like videos of her where she was on the Senate floor and visibly confused about what was happening, and her staff being like, just say yes. And she's like, I don't even know what I voted for.
Well, I mean, she was dying like before
Right.
our eyes.
Yeah. It's sad that there's that little blemish on the end of such an amazing career, and it brings up question about why someone would want to be in office that long, whether it's like a desire for power and an uncomfortableness around losing that power. And then in the final days, as she like signed away her power of attorney when it came to making medical decisions, yet she was still serving in the Senate and voting on legislation. And then you wonder about elder abuse and the fact that basically her staff was using her.
Get out there.
Yeah, using her to because of her loss of faculties, using her for their own agenda. Like, it just brought up a lot of questions.
Did you see the Onion headline?
No.
Yes, you did. I sent it to you.
What was it?
It was like, Senator Diane Feinstein, pioneer in being old. and how she was like the oldest person to do this, the oldest person to do that, the oldest person to do this.
But after her death, obviously, there was a vacant spot in the Senate seat for California. And this past Sunday, Governor Gavin Newsom announced that he was appointing LaFonza Butler to serve. She was sworn in this past Tuesday to fill out the term of Diane Feinstein, which is going to end in 2025. She becomes only the third black woman in the Senate and the first out LGBT person of color in the chamber. Yeah, very exciting. She was sworn in by Kamala Harris, our vice president, who is one of the other two black women to have ever served in the Senate. The Senate now has 4 black members, which is the most ever. I read that and I was like, that is shocking. So LaFonza Butler has her most recent job. She's been the president of Emily's List, which is an organization that helps elect pro-choice Democratic women to office. She's the former president of Service Employees International Union, Local 2015, which is the largest union in California, and it's a union for home care workers. She also led the effort to raise the California minimum wage to $15 and enact paid family and medical leave. She is married and has a young daughter. They're a really cute family. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Awesome.
I guess I don't really have any notes about it, but mostly this week in politics has been about the removal of the Speaker of the House. First time ever in U.S. history that a Speaker of the House has been removed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The charge was led by Matt Gaetz from Florida, and I think after the past 10 years we've had where Democrats have had a lot of infighting, a lot of criticism within the party, meanwhile the Republican Party seemed to have been so galvanized behind Donald Trump, it is just giving me so much joy to watch them fight and implode a little. There's talk that the Republicans are going to try to remove Matt Gaetz from office because of this, and I can't remember, they're basically, all this dirt is coming up about him being leaked by Republicans, and I think the takeaway of that is like they didn't, like when Republicans leak dirt about other Republicans once they do something bad, it just proves that they don't care about anything like that until they disagree with them.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least they all hate each other. They're right.
Yeah, it's
They're all
fun.
terrible.
It's joyful to me to watch the Republicans who do have a majority in the House fall apart and implode a little. It is sad to watch our government be in disarray, but it's again fun to watch the Republican Party implode.
We have a
15 votes to confirm McCarthy.
right,
Damn.
which was one of the longest.
Yeah,
Confirmations.
already messy.
I know.
One person votes to oust him and stuff.
It's just more and more government dysfunction. And I mean, say what you want about Kevin McCarthy, he totally sucked, but he was like working with Democrats. Which I'm like, isn't this what we want them to do? Is work together, and then they remove each other for working together? And I'm like, get real, guys. Fix
Yeah.
our roads. Just do
Something. In medical news this past week, the CDC made a proposal. They're proposing the use of a morning after antibiotic pill to prevent some sexually transmitted diseases in at-risk groups within the queer community. And it's actually funny because I was talking to Jeff McCarthy, who runs Test and Treat, about specifically this. It's called DoxyPep, which is doxycycline post-exposure prophylaxis. And basically the idea is that this can reduce cases of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and also syphilis. And the way it works is shortly after sexual activity, you would take 100 milligrams of doxycycline. In a 50-participant study, of gay men and a few trans women, the average sexual partners over the course of the study was 9 for the group, and
In what amount of time?
a month.
9 sexual partners in a month?
Yeah. Oh, we're slut shaming on Wake Up in Provincetown now?
No, there's just something in my eye.
So the STI rate of 30% for people who weren't given the DoxyPep, and it was under 10% for those who were. This is really exciting in quelling sexually transmitted diseases in our community. Really exciting. The CDC is currently in the early stages of making a full proposal. Basically, it's like a discussion period now. They do want to view the effects on the body of this, how it's going to affect your microbiomes, and also how it might affect the evolution of these bacteria and diseases that can become antibiotic resistant. Yeah. Women's sports now?
Sure.
So this past week was the World's Gymnastics tournament, and the U.S. women's gymnastics teams won a record 7th consecutive team title at the World Championships this past Wednesday. Simone Biles also won her 33 major championship medal across the Worlds and Olympics. She has 26 world medals, 20 of them are gold, and basically in every event she got either first or second, and the U.S. team did win the all-around. Brazil got second place, which is the first time they've medaled at a World, so that's really exciting. The Russian team, which is the biggest rival for the men's and women's gymnastics teams, was disqualified over sanctions because of the war in Ukraine.
Oh, they weren't even allowed to compete?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was kind of serendipitous because Simone Biles won her first World's title 10 years ago in the same city of Antwerp.
That is a long career for a gymnast.
I think she's the oldest world's first place medal winner now at 26.
That's geriatric for a gymnast.
It really is. What'd you say?
She's the Diane Feinstein of gymnastics. Definitely.
Especially when she took a break for gymnastics after this past Olympics. It is exciting to see her back in full form. There was obviously talk about whether she'd be able to come back as good as she was after taking a break, especially at her advanced age for gymnastics. The U.S. team did have, Robertson she said her ankle popped while warming up, so she had to be removed from the events that she was doing. She was supposed to do the vault and also the floor routine, and she got removed and replaced, and that's just a testament of how talented the U.S. team is. It's a 6-person team, and the last 2 could do all the events and they would still be competitive.
Way to go, ladies.
I know. I'm also really excited the Olympics are next year.
I know. Hopefully Simone slays at that.
Yeah. Agreed. The men's team also got 3rd place at Worlds, which is the first time they've placed in I think 10 years. So congratulations to them as well.
Is one of your sports stories about Serena Williams?
No. Is there a sports story about Serena Williams?
Well, yes, because one of her, I would call Simona Halep one of Serena's rivals, but they played 12 times. Serena won 10. One was a default. And then Simona Halep beat Serena Williams in the 2019 Wimbledon final in under an hour.
Straight sets,
really fast, whooped her ass. But it was just revealed that Simona Halep got a 5-year ban for performance-enhancing drugs. And so that was probably an illegitimate victory. And Serena, who has 7 Wimbledon titles, she tweeted out, 8's better than 7. I don't know if they're going to go back and give it to her, but that day when she was being interviewed on the court after her shocking loss, she was like, yeah, guys, she played crazy.
Yeah.
She knew what was going on.
Yeah.
This person who I've beat 10 times in a row suddenly whooped my ass in under an hour. So, sorry, Serena. She would have had that 24th title.
24?
It would have been her 24th major title, which is the record for female players. She was chasing that number for so long, and that was her last major final appearance. So, fuck you, Simona Halep.
In other local news, we've been talking about it since it began, but there was another chapter in the story of the Dune Shacks happening this week. So Sal Del Deo got their lease on the Dune Shack extended for 5 years. There basically was most of the Dune Shacks that have been historically owned by families, they got
run by families,
cared
for by families,
got an extension for a few years, and basically the Del Deo Shack got 5 years. He was back in it for October 4th, which was Josephine's birthday, and I know he historically loves to celebrate her birthday on the Cape Cod National Seashore in the Dune Shack, so that's exciting that he got back in. I know this is, not that it's kind of kicking the can down the road, so I know it's going to be a lot more discussion around the Dune Shacks, but I think it does give the town and the community a little more time to make their voices heard about the way the community would like the Dune Shacks to be handled.
Right. And let's hear it for public outcry actually having an effect.
Yeah, we did it.
And good PR people.
And good PR people.
And
definitely
that.
Some stuff I've got going on this weekend. Tomorrow I am in a reading. This weekend is also the Eugene O'Neill New Works Festival.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're in a new work by Eugene O'Neill?
No.
Oh.
It's the Eugene O'Neill New Works Festival. So over the weekend, there's going to be readings and performances of new plays, new musicals. There's actually only one musical being read this weekend, and I am a part of it.
Oh, it's in his name, but it's not like unearthed new works by Eugene. Oh, okay.
Exactly. So I'm going to be doing a reading of a musical called Right Now, W-R-I-T-E. The music was by Alan Cancelino. The book and lyrics by Jenny Wason. Really exciting.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go to that.
It's tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the Red Room. It is a really great cast of 6 of us. It's me, Kaya Cristal, Brandon Cordero, a few new people that I just met who I was blown away by in the reading. They were doing really great stuff. So it's 1 o'clock tomorrow at the Red Room. Stop by and watch.
Break a leg.
Thank you. What have you got going on this week? Anything fun?
Yeah, just working Friday and Saturday. Sunday, of course, I'm going to go to Washashore.
Yeah.
And then Monday is my husband's birthday.
All right.
So we're celebrating him all week long. If you see Peter Sullivan in the street or you happen to be up at Land's End, and wish him a very happy 60th birthday.
Yeah, he's going to love that.
6-0. He was like, no, he was not complaining, but he was like, you guys don't do. I think so. So you guys, I sat down and talked to John Cameron Mitchell about the Washashore Festival, his friendship with Amber Martin too. I went to their show and I talked about it with them. If you get to see these films,
Good morning, Mr. John Cameron Mitchell. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. So I don't fanboy out a lot, but I've been a big fan for a long time. So this is a special treat for me. Thank you for making some time to chat with us.
Of course.
I have to tell you, we had Amber Martin on our morning show right before her show with you at the Crown and Anchor.
Right.
And I got to go to it, and it was just mind-blowingly, ridiculously hilarious and life-affirming, and I just had the best time.
Oh, thank you. It's actually the show I probably have had the most fun doing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And people who come feel the same way. You know, they feel like they've just had a good old 70s time, you know, and as if COVID never happened, as if smartphones never happened. We try to bring you back to a more innocent time, perhaps in the 70s, where all music was dance music, all music is valid. It's not about fitting into, narrow conformist categories of pop music or even of, let's say, queer music. And just following, the leads where they go. Amber's got a new album coming out soon that's a country album, so we've had a lot of country in our show lately. Mm-hmm. And we'll be continuing to tour that around the country.
Excellent. Yeah, speaking of country, her Reba McEntire impression I was a big Reba fan when I was a kid. I'm from Southern Delaware.
Okay.
So
it's positively cubist, isn't it?
Like everybody in the Paramount that night, I was like, I wonder how many of these people know exactly how
really know
it is,
how good Amber's doing it, and kind of singing kind of better in a way, almost. She does her Bette Midler show also, which is sometimes called Bette Bathhouse and Beyond, because she got started at the gay baths in the early 70s with Barry Manilow on piano. So she does a tribute to that show that's quite brilliant. And again, she can sing as well or better than that Bette on many of these songs. And I created the show really to show her off, mm-hmm. To let people know that this 52-year-old legend is not being sung correctly. She is the original, pure soul mama,
It's just so nice to see two people who obviously love each other so much just like a beautiful friendship that everybody else gets to experience for a night.
Exactly. Just come on in. It's very loose. I'm happy I don't have to do Hedvig or any of, we do a couple of Hedvig songs to throw some red meat to the fans. But, there's, as we describe it, there's 115 years of show bitch history. So Amber will probably crack out a couple songs on Sunday, but for track, maybe we'll do a duet. My old friends, Billy Huff will be definitely a part of it. Jake, a new friend, boyfriend from New Orleans, where I now live, who's right up our alley and we're up hers, with consent. But Suzanne is definitely Suzanne/boyfriend is definitely in that realm of comic performance art meets really good original songs, and Hedvig sprang from that font as well, and from the Squeezebox Club, which was a legendary rock and roll drag bar in the 90s in New York.
You guys check out the Washashore Festival this weekend. I actually talked to John Cameron Mitchell for like 15 minutes. We're going to post the whole interview on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much to him for making some time. And thank you to Lisa Tate and Rob Longley from the Cape Cod School of Art for making it here today.
Great.
How are you?
Thanks. Great.
Great.
And so the Cape School of Art, this is like from way back.
Way back.
From way
18.
Well, it started, the original Cape School was Charles Hawthorne's school, and he started that in 1899. He had been a student of William Merritt Chase, the famous American Impressionist. And so Hawthorne started his school here in 1899. He died in 1930, and then Henry Henchy opened his own school. And it was small, but Henry was already Charles Hawthorne's assistant, and so he had a lot of acquaintances from Hawthorne's time, and had some people continue to study with him. So, for instance, Phil Mallicote studied with Henry Henchy. And later on, Sal Del Deo studied with Henry. Ciro studied with Henry, thus Ciro and Sal's. Ray Risk studied with Henry, and of course the wonderful, fabulous Ilona Royce-Smithkin studied with Henry. So it had a long history like that. A lot of people really found it influential to come and study, and some people would say, we're going to go and get Henchy color. But he was very well known as a teacher, maybe not quite as much as an artist, though he should have been. And he continued teaching almost up to his death. And I arrived here in Provincetown in 1971 to study with Henry, and liked it, and just
Still here.
Still here. Yep.
I imagine the creation of those schools has a lot to do with Provincetown becoming the art colony that it is.
Yeah. There were already artists here in Provincetown, but Hawthorne really attracted a lot of people. He was very well known, so he had famous portrait artists coming and studying with him. And if you've seen the mud heads that are around town all over the place, Hawthorne developed that technique, partly because he had such notable portrait painters coming to study with him. He wanted to get them clumsy, so they could do anything with a brush. But he handed them a putty knife, and he said, okay, you're going to paint with that.
Oh, wow.
And they couldn't pretty up their portraits with that. And then the famous block studies that most people know about, there's some around town, that was Henry's development as a way to study a spot of color next to another spot of color. And always using palette knife, always using big planes of color to compare what it looks like in sunlight, what it looks like in shadow. So really cool.
So we've got a big weekend coming up.
Big weekend.
Silent auction.
Silent auction. Great party. Want everybody to come. It's going to be lots of fun. Some of the many of the well-known Provincetown artists have donated works to the show, including the esteemed Rob Longley, of course, but also Hilda Neely, John Clayton, Arthur Egley, and many, many more. And most of the other art donated are people, not students, some are students, but have studied with this school, because many of them have gone on to be, well-known artists in their own right and represented in galleries around the world. So it is a colorful exhibit that you can actually go see now at Seashore Point at any time in between now and tomorrow night at 6, and then you can come on in. But it's beautiful. It's color, light, air. That's the Impressionist tradition that it carries on.
And so the auction is silent, and you can view the pieces online, but you cannot bid online.
Correct. You can view the pieces online. You can bid by telephone, and you can bid in person. And the best thing to do, the simplest thing, is to go to our website at the capeschoolofart.org. Pretty simple. And go to the auction page, and it'll explain and give you the phone numbers to call, etc. But we expect, have had a lot of phone bidding in the past, and expecting a big crowd too tomorrow night. But it can always be a bigger crowd. So
Tomorrow night, 6 to 9 at Seashore Point.
Seashore Point, 6 to 9.
And how will the auction go to support the mission of Cape Cod School of Art?
Well, the Cape Cod School of Art's a nonprofit, and we rely on this is our biggest fundraiser of the year to keep our classes going, our programs going, and paying our great teachers. So, but it's very important to us, and any donation, whether you can come to the auction or not, donation goes straight to the work that the school does.
Excellent.
Really
and this is very much when Hilda came to me and said, look, Rob, we have to keep this going and start this up. It was very much to keep the tradition of Henry Henshe's teachings out there. And she knows so much about how Henry painted, and she's so great at it that we thought this has to be carried on. And we can see it now in the generation and generations of people who studied with Henry, then studied with Hilda, studied with me, now are studying with John Clayton and Arthur Egley, and going on like that. So it's really, we have actually succeeded in moving that forward and carrying it on to the next generation.
And the auctions will help us continue to do that.
Thank you for carrying the torch and keeping the tradition alive.
Thank you.
Go see them tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Yes,
Tomorrow night,
please.
Seashore Point. Bring money.
Very good. Thank you for saying that.
Let's head over to Anne, our trusty weather girl, is back with another installment of Weather with Anne. Take it away.
Everyone, it's me, Anne Hutchinson, your long misplaced weather correspondent out here in Provincetown. And yes, I'm back to reporting the weather this week because there is a celebrity on Wake Up Provincetown today, and I'm looking to take advantage of that attention. So please, if you want to experience any more of my work after I report the weather to you today, engage with the material that I have glued at the bottom of this clip so that production has no other option other than to air it. Anyway, I've missed a lot of weather over the last months. I've missed heat waves and hurricanes. People are angry at me for not reporting the weather. Some people are even blaming me for personal mishaps they've experienced from the weather because I didn't report it. Some people are suing me. So for my grand return to the weather, I've decided to have a big old garden party in Suzanne's garden. The perfect place for everyone who sues Anne. Now, if you are coming to this garden party, please remember to bring a shovel, because what we're going to do is we're going to dig a giant pit in the earth through which you can scream at Mother Earth your weather desires like a giant ear hole, and then when you don't get what you want, you can blame her and stop suing old Anne. Unfortunately, the Garden Scream Pit Party has not been added to the Washashore Music Festival calendar of events this weekend because though the festival markets itself as genre bending, apparently pit screaming is not artsy enough. But I am here to differ with that opinion because none of the flowers in this beautiful garden could be possible without my pit screaming. In fact, every seed that is planted in this garden immediately turns into a flower in order to distract itself from the pain of the pit screaming by finding a way to cover itself in bees. Thank you so much for having me back to the weather this week, and I'll see you next week.
Please welcome for the first time ever, Andrew Tate, who is always back there behind the computer making fun of us.
Yes.
Thank you for
That's
coming.
my whole job.
Thanks for coming over here.
Yeah.
It was a long walk.
A long.
was off a second ago, so you might want to introduce them.
Nope.
This is Andrew Haig.
Forget it. No, nope. We tried the introduction, it didn't work. So
This is Andrew Haig, who's usually running the show from that computer over there, and it's his first time in front of the camera.
Yes.
Welcome to this side,
thank you.
the bright side.
Yeah, I don't like it as much.
You're used to this.
We also have Joe
It's also my
Santos.
first
It's like
time.
his 50th time on the
I've never done this
show.
before.
Can I have some coffee, please?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Andrew,
you.
how was New York this past weekend?
It was thrilling.
Good. It looked like it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's nice. It's good to have another influence and to see other art and to experience what other people's energies are like, and
Yeah, Andrew and the Crown have been bringing Mother Disco to the Crown and Anchor for 2 years now, and then they invited Andrew to New York to do a Mother Disco party this past
it was pretty great.
weekend, and
Yep.
it looked like so much fun. I was bummed I
Bringing
couldn't
joy back
escape.
to the dance floor.
We love that. We love joy on the dance
That's
floor.
That's the whole pitch.
Charged your soul for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
You got to do that every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get to sing about let the sun shine, and then at like 7 in the evening. It's like a sensible time. You go to bed early.
It is?
Totally.
Yeah, it goes
I
from 5 to
love that.
it ends at 11. So like even you could get to bed on time.
Grandmother disco.
Yeah, exactly. Write that down. Write that down.
So the reason we have Joe and Andrew coming in together on the show today is they have a really incredible set planned for this Sunday for the Washashore Music Festival at Town Hall, hosted by John Cameron Mitchell. I kind of understand how it's going to work.
Sure.
Yeah, JCM was calling it an immersive experience.
Yes.
So you were invited by Tangle to create something.
Yeah, I think so. Back in April, I had a performance with the choir at the New England Conservatory, and Tangle came to that show. And what I was doing was I'd written music for the choir to sing live, and then I was working with my computer in Ableton and stuff to make that music, manipulate it live on the stage or whatever. Wow. And Tangle was at that performance and really enjoyed what I was doing and thought, can we do something like that here in Provincetown? And my initial reaction was that I didn't want to do what we'd done there. I wanted to find something new. And so my first thought was to work with Joe, whose art and whose
Thought? I'm just kidding.
It was his first thought. You heard it here. So
I had one thought. I had one total thought.
there's nothing that came before that.
Yeah. my first thought, that's what I'm going to stick with that line, is that I thought that it would be fun to work with Joe. We'd talked about wanting to make stuff together. We'd sort of dabbled with some things before. We'd done some Lana Del Rey, because obviously. And
That's the first thought that came to my mind. Yeah.
how can we do Lana Del Rey? And and so what we're doing. I mean, what my role in this is from 7 o'clock when the doors open to 7:30, when the show starts proper. Is I'm providing sort of the house music while people are coming in, but it's not like I'm not DJing. It's music that I've written. It's all original stuff. And what's interesting about that music is that a couple weeks ago, Joao and I spent some time just recording his vocal, and I will say 90% of every sound that you'll hear for the first half hour are all derived from samples or bits of his vocal. Like it's just processing the audio of his voice on stage. So like all the drums you hear come from his voice, all the atmosphere, like it
Good morning.
I think the most exciting part about it, I think, is that it's neither my music or Shlo's music. It's this like third, this like dialectic result of smashing these two styles, which are very different, but they're copacetic in a way that I had not expected. There's a bunch of we fit perfect. No, I'm very excited. It's very unique, and I really hope. I mean, doors open at 7 on Sunday. If you can get there at 7, do. If you can't get there at 7:30, you'll still get to experience some of what we're trying to do. And but I think give yourself enough time to come in and like be in the space. And my whole goal with that first half hour is to offer a way for people to get off the street and into this sort of musical world that we're trying. So when you were using the word immersive a lot, the immersion is kind of a choice on your part to be like, I'm going to choose to be a part of this thing. Unlike anything, it's not disco or like house type music that you normally hear. It's something very different, and it has it comes from a place of real human life. The voice is is built into the sound itself, and it gives you every chance to sort of step off the normal path. It's a good experience. Please come.
Sunday at 7 o'clock.
There are county tickets. Oh, right. Yes.
County tickets are still available. You can stop by the brewery. County tickets are still embarrassing.
At tomorrow?
Today and tomorrow, you can stop by the Provincetown Brewing Company to scan this QR code and you get $35 off either the full weekend pass or Sunday night's performances at Town Hall. It's going to be incredible. Joan and Amber are going to be there Sunday night. Also, Jake Wesley Rogers is going to be there, who's been called by Elton John the Gen Z's Elton John.
Also, Jake Wesley Rogers is going to play a track on stage on Sunday that has never been played live ever.
Oh wow!
He is releasing a new track, I believe, today.
Oh my God!
And Sunday he's going to perform it live in front of you all, and no one else is going to have that experience. So please come on Sunday.
It is not to be missed. Make sure you are there. Stop by the brewing company today or tomorrow to snag less than 6 Thank you.
And now with the Basil Wizard, let's tell you what else is going on this weekend, right?
Love that.
Take away the boys.
Everyone, first off, it's Women's Week, and we are so here for it. You know who else is? The Boston Harbor City Cruise Ferries, who've extended their season through next Sunday.
That's right. What else are they doing? They're giving discounts for Women's Week if you go to Boston Harbor City Cruises, and also if you go to our website, we'll have more information on that. But come check us out during Women's Week and get back safely. Also, before we start sharing this week's list and lineup of events, we'd like to take a minute to say thank you to Trudy and the team at the Fox and Crow. Some unfortunate news that they will be shutting down. Thank you so much for an amazing dining option in Wellfleet for several years on the Cape. We really loved you and loved all that you've done for the community, and look forward to seeing what y'all do next.
And now for Friday's events, starting today off.
We have the first annual O'Neill Festival of New Works. It's a festival for dramatists. It's created by the Provincetown Dramatic Arts and has play readings daily from Friday to Monday. Also on Friday, Front Stoop feminist readings are back at Women Crafts. New time, it's at 6 p.m. And the Lesbian Nightlife Taproom Takeover Party is tonight at the Provincetown Brewing Company, 7 to 10 p.m.
Awesome. That's just Friday. Also starting Friday, but throughout the week, over at Sole Luna, our friend Olivia will be hosting a daily sound bath meditation session twice a day, 8:30 and 5:30 for $25, and a daily Thai restorative yoga class at 9 o'clock or 6 p.m., also $25. In addition, she also has several workshops, like a Coloring Your Chakra Energy workshop on Tuesday at 11, homemade body scrub workshop Wednesday at 2 p.m., and a self-massage workshop on Thursday at 11. Those workshops are $35. They are limited to only 8 people per workshop, so sign up early.
Get your self-care on at Sole Luna. Then on Saturday, Kate Clinton and Urvashi Vad community room dedication event is going to be at the Commons from 4 to 7 p.m. All are welcome. And if you haven't seen the beautiful documentary about Urvashi Vad at the Provincetown Film Festival by Mike Sayers, you can view the trailer on our website, and also it will be screening at the New Fest in New York City next week.
Right on. Spy Daughter, Queer Girl is a memoir, part memoir and part spy thriller. There's an author event for this book at Women Crafts Saturday at 5 p.m. That's free. And also, the second annual Net Gala is going to be kicking off Washashore's third year here at 7:30 at Crown and Anchor. If you need gala inspiration, think octopus chic, sexy seal, and neon netting. Washashore's opening night will all be taking place at Crown and Anchor. It features Dizzy Bravo at 8:30, headliner Boyfriend at 9, which I'm very excited about, and an after-party lineup with Mattachine, DJ Potato Salad, and John Cameron Mitchell.
Ooh, pulling out all the stops. Get it, Washashore. And then on Sunday, we have a great lineup, starting with Man Pants by Kristen Becker is at the Wave Bar at 7 p.m. And then continuing on the Washashore Sunday lineup, equally as stacked as Saturday. It kicks off at Town Hall with an immersive experience by our own Andrew and Joe. And features headliner Jake Wesley Rogers. And the Washashore Festival will wrap up with a collab after party with Babes and Boys and Clam Jam, and that'll be $25 at the door of the Crown and Anchor. So join us there for the after party.
Good times. Monday kicks off with Joe Hayes' Girl Band art opening at Women Craft. This looks really rad. That's going to be 2 to 4 p.m. Don't miss that. And Women's Week Historical Comedy Trolley Tour. This is the first ever Women's Week focused trolley tour. Is at 2 p.m. throughout the week, but starts Monday. Celebrates Women's Week with a women-centric tour focusing on the rich history of P-Town and many women who've played a strong part in it.
And then continuing on with the Women's Week festivities, we have a Women's Week scavenger hunt starting at the Way Downtown at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And then on Tuesday, also Judy Gold is at the Post Office Cabaret, 7:30 p.m. And also on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. at the Way Downtown, I will be DJing. Sylvie will be drumming for our Techno Tribal Dance Party. So come check us out. Again, 9 p.m. at the Way Downtown. It's for free.
Awesome. And now we're on to Wednesday. Gay Church is coming to town. It's been an event that did really well during Pride and other queer events in New York. It's a hysterical comedy show featuring Tessa Scara, badass young comedian from Brooklyn. They'll be taking over the upstairs space at the Post Office Cabaret during Women Week with show times this Wednesday at 4, Thursday at 2, and next Friday at 4. We also hear they're going to be participating in next Friday's Foxy Variety Show. That's next Friday at 7 at Crown and Anchor.
We'll remind you of that.
Yes. And lastly, Thursday, we are so stoked to promote the first ever Star-Crossed. It is a astrology dating game show hosted by Katie and Kristen Becker. That is at the Crown Anchor at 4 o'clock. You can sign up on the link on our website if you're interested in being a contestant, or also just grab your tickets now because it's going to be sold out and really awesome event.
And then Thursday also kicks off a really rad lineup of Women's Week films at the Water's Edge Cinema, including Naiad, starring Jodie Foster, Joan Baez's I Am Noise, and In Her Words, a 20th century lesbian fiction documentary. Individual tickets are available, or you can get a 4-pack for $50.
Great deal.
Yeah. Also on Thursday, Zoe Lewis is bringing her speakeasy to the Red Room at 8:30. It's going to feature guest performers like Brittany Rolfs, Leah Delaria, and
your very own
myself.
Sam.
So come out and check that out. It'll be a really good time. And then also as a final shout out, please sign up now for Women's Week's second annual softball game next Saturday. Get on out there. It's the Provincetown Peaches versus the Butchtown Bells again.
Love that.
Yeah, I know.
They have great shirts too.
More info is found on our website. But yeah, we're really excited. Women's Week is coming to town. Get your ferry tickets, sign up for softball, sign up for Star-Crossed if you're looking for love.
Just all the things. There's so many tickets, so many shows. It's fully stacked. We've tried to hit the highlights, but there's so much more.
Yeah,
check out. See it all on our site.
Yeah, come check it out. We'll see you out there.
Have a great day.
One. So much going on for Women's Week. OMG. Thank you so much, Sam. Please welcome KT and Kristen. Hi. Hi. How are you? Thanks so much for coming in today. You both got a busy week coming up. Shows booked for Women's Week. We were going to talk about Star-Crossed, your astrology-based dating game.
Yes.
This is really exciting.
It's really exciting.
Kristen is a veteran of dating game shows. If you don't remember,
Yes.
in 2021, we did Marry Harry for Valentine's Day, and Kristen won.
I did. Disguise my voice as a man of memes.
I had no idea.
I still can't believe that you had no idea because I was being so absurd. I remember somebody was like, well, I have a mountain house in Asheville. And
I'm a Libra, so I can't decide. I would love for something to decide.
It just, we haven't worked on everything, like, we don't have to tour, we do everything together, but creatively, we haven't been able, like, to put together, KT's a DJ, KT does the Discussing Astrology podcast, and so as an astrologist, I was like, let's play, and we just kind of brainstormed a little bit, and then the name Starcross came up, and we were like, let's do dating but fun. And so, it's a dating game meets a game show meets a reality show. So there's like Q&A, and then there's also a physical challenge. Yeah, no, it's gonna be like, it's like a 3-part, we're gonna forge the relationship through trauma bonding on stage.
It's like 2 identical IKEA shelves that you have to put together.
Exactly.
Right? While answering intimate questions about each other.
Right, and singing what's that?
I love a lesbian dating show where it's feats and strength for her.
Yeah, no, I just feel like we can make some of them. So we basically just key components, and then KT is going to astrologize before. So if anyone wants to find a mate for life, or for the
Any singles out there yet want to find love, send in your information. We're going to use astrology to match all the contestants with their most compatible other contestants. So 6 single contestants entered, but no single contestants.
Everyone's a winner.
But they don't know who they're being paired with. Like, you meet the person we paired you with on stage. So any reaction to the physicality you might see in front of everybody. So there's really like no, it's just like, here it is, you trust in the universe, and the universe says you two are gonna get married. It's gonna be chaos.
Is the prize a U-Haul up front?
So, well, there's, at the end of it, they will have to choose lower. And then we can't figure out the way, but there is a surprise twist at the end.
This is on Thursday.
Thursday at 4 p.m., so there's literally
Years.
no, at Crown Maker. And if we saw the tapes we're looking at Paramount, because we really want to use the big screen.
Right, that's the.
We have like we have a lot of like that big stage to like do things. So
It's the
we're
perfect
like,
set for a
I
game
think
show.
What's that?
Perfect set for a game
It
show.
really is. It really is. So
And what time is it?
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. on Thursday.
Perfect time.
We have a bunch of other shows coming up.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
really busy this week. What else you got going on?
We're doing Foxy on Friday at the Crown, which last year we did a variety show of female identified performers, and so all of your favorite local women will be there performing. And then I'm doing Band Camps, which is my solo show, kind of a slideshow of the history of my questionable fashion choices growing up and what it's like to be a man presenting in a world obsessed with men dresses. Because there's more to drag than just men dresses. So we're gonna talk.
No, I saw Band Pants Memorial Day weekend when you debuted. It was utterly incredible. And I feel like being a queer child and the connection you have with clothes and how you present yourself, you did a beautiful job of adding comedy, but also like talking about how that's an experience that a lot of us have. Queer.
Wow. Okay, she's got depth, y'all.
Um,
Can I just say that, like, KT, I was not into astrology until I was into KT. And, I mean, I was, but, like, in the way that, like, a straight girl's into football for a cute boy, you know? Whereas,
Right,
like,
right,
I could
right.
pass with a little bit of astrology knowledge.
Holding.
But, yeah,
I get
yeah,
it.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But so many times, I'll be like, oh, I feel like this today. And Katie will be like, did you listen to the podcast? And when I do, it's spot on. So I actually have real faith in her ability to couple people, and I'm excited to see what happens.
And you're still accepting some more applicants. Or
Yes,
contestants,
please,
rather.
yeah.
How do they reach out?
What's the best way?
Maybe through Instagram, or you can
Yeah.
go to misguidedastrology.com and find the information there.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then you said, what do you need to get your full chart? Is it your when, where,
Yeah,
when
birth,
and where?
date, time, and location.
Date, time.
Yeah, what time were you born? Where were you born? And what were the planets doing when you showed up?
Yeah.
They were fucking.
Making the perfect concoction for a crazy person.
Have fun this week.
Yeah,
Thank
KT,
you
are
so
you
much.
DJing anywhere next week?
Well, I'm going to be doing a little opening for Washashore on Saturday.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and it'll be underground Saturday night too. So,
Word.
yeah.
Really exciting.
Come dance.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Let's scoot on over to Megan and Lydia. They are the Simple Sisters. They're going to be performing a number for you now.
You sit all day and drink all night in an alley off the strip.
Oh, that's right.
There's enough stories of your wrongdoing to make your mama sick. If it weren't for her, you'd find a way to drown in an empty creek. I told you once and I tell you again, you're all mean, dumb and ugly. The light is on but no one's home because you've lost your way. You took a left when you should have done right, and now you're just a straight. You spent your cash and now you're broke. Well, this love of mine ain't free. I told you once and I tell you again, you're all mean, dumb and ugly. You say that you're tired, well, it ain't from swinging a hammer. Do you know how tired we are from listening to you yammer? You mean to tell me you've never seen The Godfather?
Oh, The Wire's the best show ever.
Yeah, you haven't. Fucking David Simon, man. How dare I smear your name by telling exactly what you say? You wind your pockets empty when you ain't work today. You don't deserve your girl who busts the skin right off her feet. Get a job, you fucking losers. You're all mean, dumb and ugly. You hit on every girl in town and wonder why yours is crying. Like a dog chasing cars, ain't caught one yet, but not for the lack of trying. You think that you're such hot shit, well, your luck's run out on me. I'll flush you down a goddamn pot, you're all mean, dumb and ugly. You say that you're tired, well, it ain't from swinging a hammer. Do you know how tired we are from listening to you yammer?
I really only read the poetry of Charles Bukowski.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Oh, you're wearing a Metallica shirt?
Name one song.
American Psycho is like the best film of the 20th century, but the book is still better.
We're better off without you, man. You'd be more helpful gone. Listen close so you can learn a lesson from this song. With a face that only a mother could love. Oh boy, you need a mommy. I told you once and I tell you again, you're all mean, dumb and ugly.
Go on, tell him one more time now.
I told you once and I'll tell you again, you're all mean, dumb and ugly.
That was amazing.
That song is about straight men.
Yeah, definitely. How long have you guys been playing together?
A year? 2 years? I don't know. We've known each other.
That's fine.
We've known
Thank
each other
God.
3 years, I think, but we've been playing a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
For this shtick.
Yeah.
We played other stuff
Is
before.
this kind of music your main gig, or is this the music you like to create together?
Just the music we like to create together. Yeah, yeah. We're both symphony musicians.
No
That's
way.
true.
Yeah, no, can you fucking
Yeah, I know. What a con job.
So you're going to be from 6 to 7 at Town Hall for the Washashore Music Festival
Very
this
true.
Sunday. Where else can we find you?
Yes, OC is our last. We
Yeah.
have a residency at the OC.
Residency at the Old Colony Tap, very on the other side of this street, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We're also playing the Underground on Monday at 8 p.m. We're playing the Flying Fish and Wellfleet next Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oyster Fest, baby.
Yeah,
On
doing the
Sunday?
Oyster Fest.
We're making it. We're like slowly going from like P-Town. We made it once to Toronto. Now we're making it to Wellfleet.
Yeah, we opened at the Beachcomber.
New York City, here we come.
You'll be in Hyannis
Showbiz,
in no
baby.
time. Thank you so much for coming in today. That's a show. Thank you so much to all of our viewers. Thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, Provincetown Brewing Company, Shipwreck at the Brass Key, the Boat Slip, and also the Provincetown Business Guild.
Thanks for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
And we'll see you next Friday. You do Oyster Fest?
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up.